Hi folks, Bonine52. Hope you are well. I have been nominated by a fellow motovlogger to do the 7-gear motorcycle challenge, where there's going to be some questions that come to me that I need to answer, and we're doing this to share our thoughts and experiences on motorcycle riding. Now, most bikes, like Big Mama, have 6 gears, but we're going to talk about 7, because you know what? There's always one more ride or one more experience we need. So stay tuned. I got some questions I'm going to answer. Alrighty, folks. I normally do not do these question and answer videos, but I'm thinking, if it helps one person or lets one person get to know me a little bit better, it's all worth it. So I appreciate HarleysDinersRides, for nominating me. I know that he's nominated a couple other folks. I think it was Kevin Schroeder and Mile Marker Next, 2 great motovloggers that you should check out their channel. I think they're going to be doing the same thing. I'll leave the description to both of their channels, and actually their channels look like that. Look, both sides like that. Pretty good, right? Alright, so 7 questions. Here we go. Number 1. What motorcycle was your first motorcycle? I had a Suzuki. I think it was a Suzuki C50, maybe? I think that was it. And let me tell you about the motivation for that. That's why? I did not grow up riding motorcycles. I think the first time I rode a motorcycle when I was in college, and we lived off campus, and a buddy had one. He let me ride around the block. I rode it down to classes every now and then. I was like, man, this is really cool. Never did anything with it. Until about 4 or 5 years ago, when I decided I wanted to try riding again. Talked the wife into being okay with it. Actually went to take a rider safety course, which everybody should do. I did mine, happened to be at a Harley-Davidson place, and I wasn't sure if I was going to really be into it. So I bought a used Suzuki, and loved it. Just loved being out on the road, and ended up keeping that motorcycle for about 30 days because I knew how much I was loving it, and I decided that I was going to go buy a Harley. So I actually went and bought a 2016 Street Glide Special by the name of Lucky. I had Lucky for a couple of years before I bought Big Mama, my 2018 ultralimited, which I plan on keeping forever. And then recently I bought a 2000 Road King, because I wanted a little bit of that old Harley bike, something I could wrench on just a little bit, because I'm not a mechanic, but something I could have a little fun with that I could zip around town with. So really the motivation really just was, hey, I'm at a point in my life I can do something that's a little bit of fun, and just remember those college days. So that was probably really the reason why I did it. Alright. Number 2, what type of riding do you do? Well, if you follow my channel, I have been in Michigan since August of last year, and I was spent a couple years in Pittsburgh. And the one thing I love about Pennsylvania is there's a lot of twisties and a lot of mountains. Michigan doesn't have that as much. There's a lot of lakes and stuff like this, which is cool too. But I will tell you that I ultimately like the twisties mostly, and country ride, no doubt. I love, the only time I like smelling cow manure is if I'm out in the country riding by it on my motorcycle. So that is the second question. Third question is, what's your favorite type of motorcycle trip? Like a day, a weekend, or a long trip? So I have not taken a long trip yet. And I've been, again, riding for, 5 years maybe now, 4 or 5 years. I had planned a long trip, actually, I think it was a 7 or 8 day, or with Harley Day Rider HDR and his bride. and ended up having to relocate it for work here. So we missed that trip. So I was really looking forward to that long trip. Mrs. Bodine and I take day trips all the time, usually riding with friends if we can. And this year we plan on doing some 4-day trips with HDR and some other friends, and hopefully get a long trip in this year. Not sure. We're actually fortunate to be able to go on a cruise this year, so that takes a good 8 to 10 days out of my vacation time. I will tell you my favorite one is I did do a trip with my neighbor in Pittsburgh, even though we had to trailer our bikes down because it was the winter. Last year I went to Bike Week in Daytona, and I will tell you that was incredible, riding up and down the coast in a t-shirt. This was before I was smart enough to know that I should really be wearing all my gear all the time. Was really fun. So I think that was probably my favorite ride and favorite destination for sure. Okay, number 5. What do we do to get through this intersection without getting... No, that's not it. Just kidding. All right, number 5. What was the biggest lesson motorcycling has taught you? You know what? I will tell you there's a lot of things. I mean, there's safety, there's... I think it's actually simple. I think I have a different appreciation for the great land and place that we live. Whether you're from the United States or Canada or over in the pond or wherever you're from, the world is beautiful. And what it's really taught me is just to be out and enjoy it more. You can't be in a bad mood when you're riding your motorcycle. Or if you're in a bad mood and you ride your motorcycle, you kind of get it fixed. I mean, it's amazing. So that's the lesson it's been to me. And I just, there's 3 or 4 different things, but that's the one that just pops into my head that I think without a doubt is the biggest one. Number 6, do you have any words of wisdom for anybody that's looking to get into motorcycling? Yeah, I do. I have a couple. And it's kind of what I did. I believe that everybody should take a motorcycle training class. There's a bunch of folks on YouTube that you can watch. MC Riders, one of the guys. There's plenty of guys that can teach you about safety, but there's nothing like getting on a motorcycle and going to a training class and really learning how to do it. I remember when I first went to my class, and again, I had rode a motorcycle in college, and I was thinking about getting a motorcycle. I remember saying, how am I going to get home? I haven't rode a motorcycle in years and years. I may crash. Holy crap, how am I going to get home? You know what? You get through that motorcycle training class, or I can only talk for the one from Harley, after 4 days, you can ride your motorcycle home. And it is not the fear that you think. I would also encourage people to continue practicing and updating their skills. Never get too complacent, because it takes 1 minute, 1 second to hurt yourself. But the first thing would be, without a doubt, take a training class. They'll give you a motorcycle that you can ride on. So do that. And then the second thing is, kind of look, hey doggy, buy a used one. First of all, it's not about the motorcycle. It's about the ride. And maybe it's a $3,000 or $4,000 motorcycle, and that's what works in your budget. Buy it. As long as you get safety checked, who cares? It's about the ride. It's about the brother and sisterhood that we all have. So, and then if you want to upgrade the bike after a while, maybe you'll be able to last more than a month like I did. It'll be totally worth it. And 7, what's your next big destination? We don't have it planned yet. Specifically because of the crazy summer we have, but we do plan on driving back out to Pennsylvania, maybe down even to Maryland, thinking about the Smoky Mountains and working through some of the deals. I'd love to go ride in the Carolinas, but we're working with some friends to figure out what that looks like right now. So that's the riding plan. We're hoping to get away for a week-long trip. Would be kind of cool. So that is kind of what our plans are for a trip this year. But look forward to doing short ones and then maybe one long one. That's for sure. So, well, I'll tell you what, folks. That is it. I would like to thank you for the nomination to do this. Check out all those guys' channel. You know what? I follow all three of them. They're good guys. Brian and Patty of Mile Marker Next. Some of the first folks I remember when their channel was really, really small, and they just blew up. I mean, they're just fantastic people. Check out their channel. Kevin Schroeder is just one of those guys that's so easy to like. He's trying to grow his channel, so check him out. And if you like the content, which I know you will, Kevin's an easy guy to fall for his channel. Check him out and subscribe. And Harley Diners Rides, thank you for recommending me. Love your channel as well. I just watched your video this morning on how to tie down a bike, so it's always good to learn a different way, and I appreciate that. So it's my turn to nominate some folks. So let's see. Oh, come on. You know it's got to be Harley Day Rider, my best buddy, HDR. Good old friend HDR. So I'm going to have to nominate him. I'm going to have to nominate my other good buddy, Bronco Ride from the beautiful Maryland. Hope you're well, buddy. Miss riding with you, and let's make sure you and I and HDR at least get together. And let's see. Mike Cayley 7. Mike Cayley 7, if you follow my channel, most of you probably follow his as well. Super good guy, super great channel, super good content. If we can get him away from his new hobby of learning how to play the saxophone, then maybe he'll do this challenge as well. So if you're up for it, please, please, please try to do it. Let people get to know you a little bit more. Give some advice on this great, great hobby of motorcycle we have. All right, folks, that is it for Bodine 52. Thanks for checking this out. Be safe on and off the motorcycle. Ride safe, ride often, and hug a loved one. Bye-bye.